Many of us have been closely following the recent Consensus 2025 event, especially the keynote speech by Dr. Nicolas, and as expected, not everyone walked away satisfied. Let's be honest, a significant portion of investors, especially short-term traders, were hoping for some breaking news at Consensus. Something like Binance to list Picoin. They were counting on a FOMO, fear of missing out wave to push Picoin to new highs. But that didn't happen. Dr. Nicolas's objective at Consensus 2025 was clear. He wasn't there to please short-term traders. He came to attract talented developers to the Pi network, calling on them to build high-quality decentralized applications, dApps, on its platform. This is the core value proposition that will drive the long-term growth and real explosion of Pi network.
I am Nicolas. I am one of the co-founders of Pi network and heading the technology. Pi network is a social network with tens of millions of people with its own embedded cryptocurrency, Pi. People have been mining it for the last more than six years now. They've been using it, they have been creating apps. And one unique feature about Pi is that every account on the blockchain, before it's activated, it needs to pass identity verification.
All right, so what I want to start with, and again, you can give me a really short answer, is in the worlds that each of you are playing within the infra side and in AI, I wanted you to give me kind of the analogous place we are in the technology spectrum, right? So if we think of YouTube and streaming video, are we still in the VHS era when it comes to what we're doing? So Nick, let's start with you.
Oh wow, so that's a good question. So I think that every time in history there's technologies that are being invented, and then there's a little bit of lag and a little bit of time between when they are invented and they are actually being massively used. So that's where we are with Gen AI. So especially with the generative AI in general, there has been a leap forward, a breakthrough in what the models can achieve. And now is the time to build great apps and great products. In the same way that, when electricity was created, not every house had it, not every industrialization wasn't there, or when the combustion engine was there, not everyone had a car. What was the exact product was not really known. So that's where we are right now. It's an exciting time for you.
All right, well, the combustion engine, that's what I'm taking away from it.
As an inevitable consequence, Picoin experienced a price correction. From its pre-event peak of $60, driven by circulating rumors, it dropped back to around $70 and is expected to continue trading sideways as the FOMO effect fades. At Pi From Us, we had already warned the community. If the price goes up due to FOMO, it will likely drop just as fast when the hype disappears. What we need now is not hype, but builders. Talented developer teams with real capabilities coming to Pi Network to build their own digital empires. Just look at Solana for a comparison. It took years for Solana to build a solid blockchain foundation, then came hundreds of millions in investment to support developers. In 2021, the Solana Foundation, in partnership with Roque Capital, announced a $20 million fund to support DeFi, NFT, and Web3 projects in Asia. The Wormhole Cross-Chain Ecosystem Fund also added another $50 million for cross-chain projects. These strategic moves fueled Solana's explosive growth to over 2,500 decentralized applications by Q1 2025. Similarly, Pi Network Ventures has already committed $100 million to support the development of its ecosystem. That's why it's only a matter of time before developers rush into this fertile and promising ecosystem. And of course, Pi From Us will be here to review and introduce these apps to the community. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now's the time.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. So I think that I will take this as follows. I will say that people need to build great apps, great products. Once you have a great product, it will trump everything else. And in order for you to do this, you need to have a lot of trials, and today is a great time with generative AI, where there's a lot more people who can create and try products. So networks that have a lot of people will naturally be able to have a competitive advantage in being able to empowering them and creating a lot of different products and a lot of different value. So by having value, eventually you're going to convince everyone else to accept it.
David?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of going back to the internet in the mid-90s analogy, I think that stablecoins has really been a foundation that's been laid now for a decade plus. I mean, it's a core piece of technology in the agentic system that I think that decade was really critical for. So I think you're going to see, an explosion in AI agents over, the next couple of years. And figuring out the right transition to like fully autonomous agents outside of kind of control and authorization will be interesting. There'll be blow-ups, but I think it's going to be really exciting for the next couple of years.
Eric, agents, payments?
Yeah, I mean, I think payments are like under the core of so much of what we're trying to get at here. What we're trying to build, we call it an AITP, which is sort of our agent interaction and transaction protocol. That's how agents can pass structured data to other agents. That includes payment instructions. And we think the way that that can succeed is, first of all, don't think of it as just crypto payments. Build in all the features of fiat payments, rewards, credit, dispute resolution, all done via AI, and things you can't do in the fiat world, like revenue share and affiliate revenue that hits everybody along the path of whoever made that transaction possible, even if it's a quarter of a cent's worth. That gets everybody incentivized to move from the fiat rails onto the crypto or the stablecoin rails. I think that's, and so then you build from there. You start to convince those AIs to move on to the AITP or whatever the crypto payment rail is going to be.
Larry, bring us home.
Sure. So agents, stablecoin, right? And enterprise. So first of all, I think partnering with enterprises is key because they have the mass distribution users and they always think about building in a sustainable way. Revenue is not bad, and that's something that the whole industry does need to really work.
So what about the price of PiCoin between now and Pi 2 Day, June 28? Chances are it will continue trading within a distribution zone. This is actually a great opportunity for long-term believers to accumulate more PiCoins. If you have the skills and knowledge, short-term trading can be profitable, but we strongly advise against futures trading. Statistics show that 95% of retail futures traders lose money. The smartest strategy? Long-term investment in Pi Network. When the ecosystem is complete with millions of active users and growing demand for PiCoin, that is the moment to consider taking profits. For now, the journey is just beginning. In 2025, Pi Network is focusing on several key goals. 1, massive expansion of the Pi apps ecosystem, aiming to have 100 active apps or attract tens of millions of users to top-performing apps. 2, developer toolkits and platform improvements, providing comprehensive SDKs and APIs with a goal of onboarding 10,000 registered developers. 3, finalizing KYB, Know Your Business, and node verification systems, ensuring transparency and network security. Meanwhile, the PiCore team will continue to carefully manage PiCoin supply in the market. If weak hands decide to sell off during dips, that will be an opportunity for long-term believers to accumulate. At Pi From Us, we would gladly buy PiCoin again if the price drops to an attractive level like 50s. Our long-term goal is to sell above $5 or even higher as the ecosystem matures and reaches expectations. The current volatility in PiCoin's price is completely normal for crypto markets. Even the largest coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana experience sharp fluctuations. Bitcoin has seen 30 to 50% corrections within bull cycles. Ethereum regularly faces strong pullbacks. Even Solana, despite being a top project, has experienced 20 to 30% drops in short periods. New pioneers may feel confused when watching PiCoin's price chart. But remember, even gold, the so-called safe haven, can fluctuate 5 to 10% in a single trading session, only when Pi Network builds a robust ecosystem with applications attracting millions of daily users, creating demand for millions of Pi coins for payments, services, and utilities. Will the coin's value break free from speculative FOMO and short-term pump-and-dump patterns? So what's the best strategy right now? Accumulate during major dips and be patient. That's the only safe way to invest and succeed long-term with Pi Network. Good luck and keep the faith. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pi from Us for the latest updates and insights on Pi Network. Your Pi, your choice.